I would suggest that many times in this life, we can't have it all. So if the most important goal, even over everything else, is to keep kids in school uninterrupted for in-person instruction, our recommendation would be pretty clear, and I'm going to do this thing again at this time. Start school with a mask requirement for all staff and students. We believe that gives you the greatest odds of achieving that goal. If making everyone happy or if individual freedom trumps that goal, then the cards will fall in a different way, we think.
I guess we're about to see where those cards might fall. That suggestion from Doctors James Souza and Kenny Bramwell, both of St. Luke's, came about an hour and a half into a five and a half hour meeting last night with the West Ada School District Board of Trustees. And that suggestion to make masks required for all staff and students to start the school year was just one of the options floated by the board. There were two others. Option one, let the superintendent decide, which is where they stood going into last night's meeting. And back in June, the superintendent decided to let masks be optional. Then there was option two, masks required for everyone or by grade level. Then there was option three, masks required for everyone, but parents can opt their students out if they so choose. So a mandate, but one that really doesn't apply to everyone. Let's go back to what Dr. Souza said while making his recommendation last night. Many times in life, we can't have it all. Well, West Ada School District is certainly trying to do that because nearly 5 hours later, which included 90 minutes of public testimony, they went with option three.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Chair votes aye. All those opposed, please say nay. Motion passes 3-2.
And there's the cheering. And here's what that means. Masks will be required in all grades across the school district, including teachers and staff. But parents, as we said, can excuse their kids from that requirement by turning in an opt-out form. A form that was sent out to parents this morning just before 10 a.m. And the district began accepting those opt-out forms at noon. In a matter of hours, guess how long the line was at the district office? Here's Katya Stepovic with the answer.
Hundreds of like-minded parents waited in line to submit paperwork and identification to ensure that when school starts tomorrow in the West Ada School District, their children will not be masked.
I just don't believe that basically the masks really work. And I think that they should have a choice to wear it or not.
Curtis Shaw, a father of two kids at Meridian Middle School, says he's lucky he had the day off because he didn't really know that this is what he was in for.
So I'm coming down here and now it looks like I'm gonna have to sit here for an hour or two, you know. When this could have just been done online or something. I have to show my ID to prove that my kids, I mean, it's just.
But at the end of it all, for these parents, it was a line worth waiting in.
I don't want my kids wearing masks all day.
Why?
I don't think it's healthy for them.
In what ways?
Well, I think they need to be able to breathe freely and not be restricted.
Kids will get sick. That's what they do.
Some of the parents spoke last night during the district's board meeting, and the West Ada board listened, giving parents a choice to mask up their children in the school setting or not. So the turnout today, not shocking to school officials.
I don't think we knew what to expect. I mean, I know that we know that parents do want choice when it comes to their child, and especially when it comes to their health. So, you know, we kind of had an expectation that it would be a high number.
After today, hundreds of students will be in the system with a note that tells teachers and staff that their parents have opted them out of the mask requirement. The district will accept papers until Friday. At that point, parents can turn in opt-out forms to their schools directly. And if they don't get it turned in before school starts tomorrow,
so our principals are going to work with families and students, offer some grace over the course of the next couple of days, knowing that those forms are going to be trickling in. I think we've heard that from parents that parent choice is extremely important, and so hopefully by offering that opt-out and that choice, it will kind of ease whatever parents have about starting school. Will kind of make that a little bit easier for them.
So if you'd like to help us maintain it and make sure they don't try to take it away.
The district says the goal is not to make all parents happy, but to keep students in person learning 5 days a week. And today, some walked away with the confidence that that goal will be achieved.
I think that this speaks volumes of what people really feel, and I think that the school district so far has not listened to what the parents wanted. I think that the turnout here today just kind of shows the voices that needed to be heard that weren't being heard.
All right, Katya, there are 40,000 students or so in the West Ada School District, which is why we call it the state's largest. It is pretty big, which means there are at least 40,000 parents that have this option. This could be an administrative nightmare with all these forms coming in and school starting tomorrow. How are they going to handle all of this, and what happens to enforcement?
Well, unfortunately, it could be just that, because just like some teachers had to deal with medical or religious mask exemptions last year, they will likely be the enforcers this year too. But obviously, there will be a lot more exemptions, so to speak. And this is all still very, very new. So Char says in the coming days, the logistics will become more clear. But she says teachers will know what students are on the opt-out list, and if needed, administration will come in to help.
All right, we'll see. Again, this is going to be very kind of fluid over the next couple of days at least, and maybe for the next several weeks. All right, thank you very much, Katya.